going on, world? It's Friday, April 10th, and first and foremost, we want to give credit where credit is due to the Most High for allowing us to come together at the end of the week to discuss what's been going on. Um, and it's me, Mick, and Pizzo right now. Will, he's on his way down south, traveling grace. S is in Hawaii, enjoying the sun, and then Will, our Ray's enjoying the cold weather. I don't think no one enjoys that weather, but anyways, man, we'll jump right into it so we can get this thing going. Jim Wallow, he is the mentor that was assigned to us for the Startup Challenge. I met with Jim on Monday and gave him a little bit of insight on our business venture. Jim happened to have over 20 years experience in the beverage industry and was part of a distribution company called Select Beverages based in the Midwest, Illinois in particular, and then they serviced his division, the part that he was in charge was three. There was like three of them in the Midwest, 15 states overall. They sold the company for over 500 million. He was a part of that. And then he moved out here and started an organic foods company, which was also sold for 110 million. So two companies that sold for over 100 million that this guy Jim was a part of, which is crazy because we're looking to sell our company for over 100 million when that time comes, and this guy happened to have done it twice. So in our little discussion, this is how I began. He told me that he didn't even want to be our mentor because of his history in the beverage industry and the challenges he faced, and also the brands that came and went. He was skeptical until he saw our website and how many accounts we were able to gain entry into and sustain them independently. Then he met me and told me that that we have to do. Oh, right here. Then he met me and told me that we do have the potential to turn this product into something big. A few of the suggestions were to work on a 3-year production, our projections, and how we are going to accomplish them, come up with a compelling story that will reel the judges in and start going after larger retailers. Everything I said to him and what he has seen in the product and our effort to grow the brand has all the elements for success. He told me as long as we continue to manage our capital wisely, he doesn't see why Oost Juice wouldn't become what we envision. Another gem was licensing. For example, Australia, New Zealand, etc. Since we can't get there fast enough, one way would be to find a manufacturer in the areas and basically license the formulation for percentage. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, they do this with their manufacturers. They sell the syrup to them and allow them to make their products in exchange for a percentage. This is definitely something to look into 5 years down the road from now, in his opinion. Brad Barbo, who runs the Startup Challenge, is his close friend, and he started an organic soda that failed. The reason being is because his manufacturer was in Oakland and his customers were here. Costs were high because his drink was in a glass bottle, and he couldn't figure it out, which caused the brand to fail. He repeated over and over how he was skeptical and didn't think a beverage could make it out of this area, which is why he was so surprised at what we've been able to accomplish in 21 months. All in all, he believes in Oost Juice, and we will be working only 12 slides for May 1st. So this guy named Jim, I mean, he has a wealth of knowledge, obviously, because of his background. And what struck me is this. It just can't be coincidence. I mean, when we're hearing this like repeatedly, like we've contacted a lot of people. A lot of people have contacted us, and the ones that have the beverage background, those are the ones that really that I cling on to, for the simple fact that they've done already what we're trying to do. And so it means a lot more to me as compared to some other person that has been successful in a different industry. I mean, that's how I look at it. I mean, for him to just be skeptical, and then we turned him into a believer, and that's what we've been doing for these past 21 months. We've been turning people into believers. We've been turning people into loyal customers, brand evangelists, and so on. And he's just another one added to the list. And I really want to build up this relationship because I want to understand how the hell he did it. How did they sell for 500 million? How long did it take? I want to ask him these specific questions because it's through the experience, it's through the asking of questions that we're going to be able to find out, you know, maybe a little tip here or there that could help us in our journey. And that's ultimately, you know, my goal as far as the startup challenge. So just waiting for them to get back on, but definitely, man, I'm excited just to see what kind of information that we can pull, the insight that we can gain, the understanding, the knowledge, everything that, you know, everything that we could pull away from this thing. I'm stoked, and I'm ready, you know. Apologize for the delay. Trying to see what's going on with these guys' connection. Here we go. So when did it freeze? Did you guys catch everything I was talking about, Jim?
We caught most of the stuff he was talking about, Jim. And then right when he started to go in, telling how you wanna continue building that relationship with him.
Yeah. So that part right there, I was just saying, you know, just speaking from just trying to pull everything that we can from him.
We ask people to tell us something that happened in their past and something that might happen in their future. The
Just
good
about
things were
anywhere
put on
you
yellow
use
banners, and the bad ones
you
on
can
blue.
use
The
Splenda
results show
no-calorie
the past
sweetener.
was a pretty even
Splenda
mix of good and bad, yet the future was almost all
To
good
experience
things.
the
Now
joy
that
of
you've seen the
sugar
results of this experiment,
without all
what
the
does it mean to you?
calories.
We all want to
Think
think
sugar,
about positive
say
stuff.
Splenda.
Realistically, there will be down times.
It's great.
What is that?
I need to send my Mac in.
All right, I'll take it in. Let me know. We can take it in as soon as possible
Yep.
to Best Buy so they can handle that. But definitely want to take advantage of the opportunities that we get with him, ask him as many questions as possible, and see how we can, draw that information to help us in our journey and use to our advantage. I mean, he was. If you guys would have been there and just seen him, he was just like really shocked. He didn't really think that a beverage could come out this area. That was like he was like really adamant about that feeling. Like, nah, it's not gonna happen. And I don't know if it's because of the guy Brad. Him and Brad worked together, and they sold that company for $500 million, and then they come over here and work together as well. And so I don't know if it's like if my friend can't do it, no one can do it type of feel. I don't know. I mean, that could possibly be, but it's different. I mean, we know what we're doing. Not to say that he didn't know what he was doing, but I think that that timing wasn't probably right for him. Our timing is right, and we fit in a certain window, and we're taking full advantage of it by what we continue to do to build this thing up. And I'm waiting to hear back from him. I sent him over our pitch deck. I sent him over our market research that we had Growth Inc. do, and he's supposed to be basically, we're going to condense it. I think we have 15 slides or whatnot on that. Let me just check real quick. We actually have 12 slides. So we have 12 slides right there. I mean, maybe we'll probably switch a few of them out on our pitch deck because he talked about the projections, the 3-year projections. Maybe we take a slide or two out, and then we focus more on what are our milestones, our goals, similar to the ending slides on our pitch deck. But we tell them like the step-by-step process, probably more in depth, because what's in our pitch deck right now is really the step-by-step process of what we've been doing and how we see it, what we were going to do when we enter into retailers, what we're going to do when we get in distribution, what's the process behind that in the system. And so we have all that information. We're way ahead of the pack in his eyes, and it feels good, that we did this 2 years ago, just getting preparing ourselves, and then 2 years later, we have an opportunity to present our work, and so I'm excited about that. The startup challenge, I sent over a logo and 1-sentence description so that the startup challenge can place it on their website, which should be either up or going to be posted shortly, with the event a few weeks away. And this is what they sent me for the.
Just about anywhere you use sugar, you can use Splenda no-calorie sweetener. Splenda lets you experience the joy of sugar without all the calories.
You just be having pop-ups?
Yeah.
Think sugar, say Splenda.
All right, so I'll go ahead and screen share this with you guys. This is what they sent me from the startup challenge. So it says 2015 Startup Challenge outline for the 12-page business plan. Basic requirements: your 12-page business plan should present the case for your business, proposition, problem, and solution, business model, team, and situation analysis, business environment, and competition. The plan Must not exceed 12 pages, including your financials and any appendices. You may, however, have a separate cover/title page. You must submit the plan by Monday, April 20th, which is in a couple weeks here, via email to the Startup Challenge at CSUMB. Thus, you do not need to worry about binding or other fancy printing options, although including your logo and having a professional looking layout/look that communicates the feel of your company is important. Do be sure to edit and proofread carefully, as typos, misspellings, and grammatical errors tend to stand out and distract from the power of your narrative. Outline. The following is a suggested outline for the content of your business plan. 1, executive summary, problem and solution, target market, business model. A, customer recruitment strategy. B, distributions or location if you are a location-based company such as a restaurant or other brick and mortar retail operation. C, strategic partners. D, key resources required for the business include here any patents or other intellectual property that you have or are developing. E, key operational processes. F, sources of revenue and projections for your first 3 years of operations. And G, key costs and cost drivers. V, business environment, key trends and characteristics of the external environment that impact your business and market. Or actually, that's 5, right? And then 6, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6, competition. 7, your business team. 8, financing needs and strategy. Or actually, that's probably 12. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I only got 8 of these. Anyways, but the key to a good business plan is that it needs to tell the story of why someone should invest in or support your business. Please refer also to the slide deck from the finalist workshop, In It to Win It. The slides are available on the Startup Challenge website under the resource tab. So that's what they sent me right there. And then they also sent me this, that resource tab that they were talking about. It's a little PowerPoint. It says, welcome to Startup Challenge, Pitch and Business Plan, In It to Win It workshop. So it's about the finals. Business plan is due April 21st. They said the 20th. These are maximum 12 pages. Careful thought to get everything you want to tell us into 12 pages. Pitches will be on May 2nd, which is the 1st. You will have 10 minutes to pitch with 5 minutes of Q&A. You may use slides and other props. There will be a short setup time before your pitch starts. Executive summary. What are you specializing in? What do you do for your customers? Be specific. Our special sauce gives us a unique advantage that will capture blank of this blank market. We will be looking for blank to build an enabling function that will generate blank over the next XX months. Elaborate in business plan. 20% of presenters do this well. It says, what's the problem? Describe the business problem you are looking to address in simple, clear, and concise terms. Current state, seriousness of problem, desired future state, benefit to customers, scale of the initial market, no more than 2
Just
bullets.
about anywhere you use sugar, you can use Splenda no-calorie sweetener.
Graphics.
Splenda lets you experience the joy of sugar without all the calories. Think sugar, say Splenda.
Better than words, elaborate in business plan. 10% of presenters do this well. The next slide, it says, what's your solution? Describe your business solution in simple, clear, and concise terms. Key benefits, features, product roadmap, no more than 6 bullets. Elaborate in business plan. Graphics, better than words. 70% of presenters do this well. What's the business model? Explain how you're going to make money. Clear, concise. If you can't describe your business model in words, in 20 words or less, you probably don't have a workable model. Elaborate in business plan. What's the value to the customer. Customer value equals seriousness of current state plus benefits of the desired future state. Take away cost of the solution. 10% of presenters to do this well. And then it says, what's the proprietary underlying magic that gives you a clear defensible advantage? Patents on their own are rarely sufficient. What are you going to do particularly well that it will be difficult to copy? Graphics better than words. Elaborate in business plan. 30% of presenters do this well. Go-to-market strategy. Describe your marketing and sales strategies in simple, clear, and concise terms. Sales cycle and strategy for initial market. How will you acquire your first customer? Your next 3, the next 5. What is the cost of acquiring a customer? No more than 6 bullets. Elaborate in business plan. Graphics better than words. 50% of presenters do this well. Competition. There is always competition, even if it's the way it's done now. Provide a competition analysis, a table chart, comparing your solution to the current approach and major competitors by key benefit. Elaborate in business plan. The more realistic you are, the more believable your case. 30% of presenters do this well.
Just about anywhere you use sugar, you can use Splenda, no-calorie sweetener. Splenda lets you experience the joy of sugar without
I'm gonna bring this
without all the
right
calories.
after.
Without all the calories.
Who's on the team?
Say Splenda.
Huh?
Who's on the team? Management team. Why is this the right team? Relevant information only. Shorter is better. Include relevant company names and positions. Include independent directors. If relevant, identify holes that will need to be filled. Elaborate in business plan, but still be brief. 10% of presenters do this well. The next one is financial projections. Profit and loss by quarter for the first year, annually thereafter, 3 years out. As you guys, more important than numbers, be prepared to explain them. Elaborate in business plan. 10% of presenters do this well. Status and timeline, major milestones, what's been achieved to date, current status, what still needs to be done, and how long it's going to take. Include expected liquidity event, exit strategy. Elaborate in business plan. 30% of presenters do this well. Other stuff, rehearse your presentation until you are comfortable delivering it smoothly and in the time allotted. Do not assume that you can get up and wing it. You'll only embarrass yourself. Multiple presenters is always nice if both are well schooled on the presentation and can deliver it with clarity and enthusiasm. Be genuinely enthusiastic about your idea. It is the best one out there, right? And then questions, not that the story needs to be long, but it will take a long time to make it short, thorough. And so that's what they sent me, what we need to include. And the only thing out right there is just the numbers. That's the thing that we're gonna have to work on, me and Jim. But pretty much everything else we have, like we have in a pitch deck. And one thing that's been on my mind, I really want to contact the girl, her name, Katie's Cold Press. If you can, I don't know her personally, but I know Luana and them. They know her, Daniel and them. If she can, if we can set up a meeting.
Just about anywhere you use sugar, you can use
I can do
Splenda,
that.
no-calorie sweetener. Splenda lets you experience the joy of sugar without all the calories. Think sugar, say Splenda.
You want to set up a meeting with her?
Yeah, because I would like for her to just run her whole pitch.
Okay.
She won the Main Street last year, so just by seeing what she was able to do, I mean, if she has the time, I'd definitely like to just see if she would do that for us.
All right. Lady Katie Cold Press, she be doing those in cold press, like the juice, like the fucking vegetable juice things and shit. Yeah. You be seeing Stella and all them posting pictures of that shit. She won this shit last year.
Moving forward, Clutch Promotions, they sent over the vendor application for the 25th. I signed off, so we're good to go. Angel, I had Angel make us 4 banners, 2 for the schools, 1 for Food Corner Market, and we'll keep the other one for now, and then we'll probably give it away to a retailer or give the other one away that we have. But we have, because this one I put the all natural. I showed Pizzo it. I put the all natural on there. And then I put like no synthetic caffeine, no preservatives, no chemicals, no artificial flavors. I put things like that and out. Well, actually, we're gonna have to give it to a retailer because I put the 2 for $5 on there. So, but we'll see who we could give it to. And then McCall Wadsworth Everclean. McCall emailed me with the 2 adjustments that need to be made in order to complete our label review. They were pretty minor. The first was to make the word beverage bigger. That's on the label. And the second was to move the distributed by Ushus LLC in Marina, California, down by the CRV. So we'll do that. I'll contact Christy to make these adjustments. And also, since we will be going with the non-GMO pectin, I'll have her edit that as well. Raina Fedolin, Safeway Corp. The samples arrived, and Raina contacted me to go over a few questions she had, just in case the sales manager had any when she has them try it out. She didn't ask, was excited about presenting him with the product and seeing what it could lead to. Hopefully, she gets back to me within the upcoming week with a possible face-to-face meeting so we can go and answer all the questions he may have as it pertains to Ushu. So one of the things that she spoke a lot about was Hawaii. Like, she was really thinking, oh man, this could be a big hit in Hawaii. That's the feel that I got from her. And all she asked was SRP. Do we have the means to distribute? If we were to go all the way through and we get the okay, why haven't we got to Hawaii already? Had to explain that to her. And what else? That was pretty much it. I mean, nothing real difficult. I think the flyer helps as well. Has all the information right there. So we'll see what happens, man. And this could be huge. Hopefully, and we just get to go speak, because that'd be big for us. And then Alina Guerrero, Power Brands. I spoke with Alina, and during our conversation, we got a more clear sense of direction with the second flavor. The email I sent over included, and we'll go over that email right now. All right, so it's everything that we talked about when I went over it with you guys. When I sat down with you, when I met with you guys. So the 16-ounce PET, that's easy. That's like minor. We'll find out who the manufacturer is. We'll get on that. The ingredients. When we talked about ingredients, I threw out three ingredients just to possibly try out. So we're gonna go with this mango pineapple infusion with the coconut water. We're gonna keep that apple juice base, but we're gonna strip the taro and the noni. The reason being is so we can get the tropical banana flavor out, because this was, I mean, a lot of people, you already know off the bat, like when you're trying Oosh juice, that's like the dominant flavor. So the 3 that I threw in there was a guava, passion fruit, and pomegranate. She's the expert, so I told her, let's mix and match. We'll play around just like we did the last time, and we'll figure out which ones fit. So if we're stripping 3 of them, then that's 3. We could actually include all 3 of these, or even, we might think of something else and throw it in there, because that's 6 ingredients right there. We don't want to get too Like we just want to keep it as simple as possible, like we did our first one, but still have that fullness of flavor where it attacks your taste buds in such a way that you just want to run back for more. I mean, that's the whole push, to stand out, that to be so unique that people just can't resist it. And then especially because it's going to be in a smaller serving size, so we're looking at it like, okay. And then there's no and then number 3, which is the caffeine content. We're going with the no caffeine in this drink, so we want that to just be like, man, I can't just have one. I need like 4 or 5 of these things. You know, that's the type of feel that we want consumers to be running back for more with this flavor. The calories, we're going to keep it low. It's at a pretty good point right now. And then obviously you think about the smaller serving size, which will cut into that calorie count. So it's at 70 right now per serving. You drop it down to a 16 ounce. We can get it pretty low. The sodium, we decided to pass on that. The reason being was because of the fact that if we're going to we're doing the feel that we have right now is like a smoothie type of product. Not too thick, not too sweet, but it's not really. We're not really leaning towards that sports drink arena. We're not doing that. Now, Alina had suggested we just continue to stick with this where we're at because of the fact that this is only the second one to the line. Now later, like for future runs, if we were trying to if we extend the line even more, that would be something to think about, like for a future flavor. So we said, man, let's just keep it at 0 sodium. We're not really trying to market it towards the post workout or whatever, because I threw that out there and I said, yeah, let's just stick with this. I think it would be a lot better because this is the second one. And people's minds are already, they're kind of on that. And if you think about the people that talked about sodium, there's only one person that I ever heard bring sodium up. That was one person, and he was in Deluxe Foods. That was the only person. I haven't even heard anybody else bring that up. So I told her, yeah, let's just keep it at 0. Carbs, obviously, keep them down. Dietary fiber, we're going to try it out. We're going to throw some in there. The sugar, we're going to keep that low as well. Protein, we're not going to include any protein. And the reason being for protein, stop it. Technical difficulties, man. Come on, let's get it back. Mm-mm. All right, so which one did you?
We start talking about the protein.
All right, cool. So back to protein. We're gonna actually pass on the protein. The reason being is because protein is pretty expensive, and it's limited amounts. This is what she told me. It's limited amounts in the U.S. Everybody is getting it shipped into the U.S. And so I know that we got a lot of people like requesting protein, like, oh man, you should make it a protein. But once again, because this is the second flavor, protein will probably come later on down the line. I mean, this is what she had advised. Now, I don't know, how you guys feel about that, but I just agreed with her. I mean, protein is big right now, but if it's an expense that's kind of up there, we could always just wait. It's time. And we don't really have to go down that route. And just like we learned on Shark Tank, you just got to tell people what they want. I mean, they're gonna be picky anyways. So sometimes you just got to say, hey man, this is what it is. You guys feel any way about that, or?
I'm fine with no protein.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do. they ask about it in Oos Juice, but as far as like how you said, as far as it being like kind of like limited to it, I think that we could just wait because you don't want to just spend money on something that that we don't really have money for. Because then when you think about mass production and you think about the more, if people are, feeling it like that and they are purchasing it like that, then that means you got to buy more quantity. And with the more quantity, we might not even have, the funds to even be able to purchase protein right now. So, waiting is good, at least, until we can build and really be able to afford it.
Yeah, because that was her whole thing. I believe it's like what she said, like 2 cents per gram or something.
Damn.
She said something like that. Like, so that's pretty pricey. And then the minimum order quantity is pretty big because of the facts that I had just mentioned. They have to get shipped in. So I just didn't want to. Because we're trying to fit it in a certain pricing point, this is how I was trying to base it during my conversation. I said that we want to stick within $2 to $2.50. If we can get it in there with the ingredients that we're going to include in this product, that's where I want to stay at because of Oos Juice being $2.99 to $3.60, as high as $3.69. So I wanted this one, because it's a smaller serving, to be a little bit cheaper. And when you're doing, if we were to include something like that, I don't think we could probably reach that until we do larger production runs. So that's why I made that decision to just pass on it. But here goes the trade-off with the vitamins, because I think it was Mick that told me, or someone. They're like, yeah, oh yeah, it was Mick. So Mick told me, hey man, someone said, man, you should increase the vitamin level. So I told Alina, I said, how can we increase these vitamin levels? She was like, oh yeah, it's simple. So we'll get to our vendors and we'll basically tell them that they do a mix. So she's gonna throw in some B vitamins, some vitamin C's, and maybe a little bit of calcium too as well. So that's an easy part for her. But that's the trade-off. We'll get more vitamins, and then we can market it that way, where we have, get your B vitamins, whatever the case may be. But so I think it was a pretty good trade-off if we're gonna have something to try and pitch and market towards the end consumer. This would be one of those things, as far as and the flavor profile, obviously. But we'll have some more ammunition.
I think that's pretty good too, because you knock off the caffeine, you add more vitamins, you reach more kids, and you have less talk with caffeine being in it. And now you just got more vitamins that it ups the percentage on it, and it just makes it an easier sell.
Mm-hmm. So that was basically our conversation this morning. It should take a few weeks for everything to get into the lab. After those few weeks, so I mean, we started this Friday, so I'm thinking next week, and I'm not even. There's no we're putting them to, like, we're gonna be on them. Obviously, we're gonna check up. We're gonna see how progress is going, but it's not like one of those things where it's paid for, so we got to be like, oh yeah, did you guys get it today? I'm thinking if we get it started next week, anytime next week. So I'll just say Friday, right? We get started Friday with the ordering. I don't think they're going to start on Friday with ordering, but I'm just saying Friday, the ordering. Next Friday is what's today, the 10th, 7th, 16th, 17th or something like that. So, and then we look at 2 weeks after that, which will then be come in May, right? The 1st or something like that. Well, that's when everything will arrive. And this is just a forecast. May 1st, everything arrives. They start the process of mixing formulas, getting the samples ready to ship out. I'm thinking mid-May at the latest, or mid-May, end of May at the latest is when we'll get our first round of samples in with this new flavor. And that's pretty exciting. I mean, that's next month. I mean, and that's just with the timetable that I just threw out there. It could be even faster, but I definitely am gonna, I'm gonna check in and just see if things, come in. I'll do it not next week, but the week after. I'll just send an email. Hey, how's things going? Just wanted to check up, follow up, see if you guys were able to reach out to any vendors and start working on the process, and we'll see. But I'm not gonna be like all up on them, trying to just be over the shoulders when they're doing us a huge solid right here. So, but I'm excited, man. It's looking pretty good, especially since we finally got to actually talk about proceeding forward. That's the huge thing, because the email, that's all cool, but when you actually talk, now it's real, because that's how we got our last one done, and so that's pretty exciting stuff right there. And then now we got weekly updates and presentations. We got distribution. So on distribution, 52 right now. I want to talk to you guys distribution. This is something that's been heavy on my mind for a little bit now, and I wanted to bring it up on Wednesday, but we didn't. We only had we closed that out pretty fast, and then it was just more of a different topic. But I want to bring it up here tonight, and this is about Ray. Ray in distribution, and what he hasn't been doing, like on a performance scale. And you know how we make these decisions? We come together and we voice our opinions. And the thing with me is we have to be around. And so I'm going to bring up Geller, for example. In the beginning of the year, it was the hardest thing for me to do, because I'm always feeling like, dang, how could I start cutting people when I need people? I can't do that. But we had to do it. And it wasn't like cutting them off, but it was like, oh man, I just, there's no need for you to feel obligated when obviously you're not doing anything in return. But just take a step back. You're still a part of what's going on, but just take a step back and focus on you, because at the end of the day, this is not about anybody but yourself and your growth. Like, we want everybody to grow. We want everybody to become the greatest version of themselves. And sometimes it is taking a step back and focusing on what you want to do in life. How can you continue to take those steps towards becoming that greatest version of yourself at particular times and moments. And look what happens with Keller. So we take him. We said, man, Us, like we said, man, some of us are not going to be here, but that doesn't mean that we're not still in this thing. We're still in this, but some of us at a certain point in time is going to be like, oh man, well, you got to take a step back. So look what happens with Keller. And we'll just throw out some things. So we tell him to take a step back. He does more songs than he has in the whole entire past year, right? In this first 3 months. That's one thing. That's big right there because he got a booth in the pad and is lazy. So for him to be able to make more songs than he did the whole last year, that's already a step towards the right direction. He does his first show. How many shows he did last year? 0. That's already a step in the right direction. Another step in the right direction. He got a job. Did he have a job last year? No, but he got a job this year, and we know Kelly. He gets jobs, and then he, a couple months later is done with. But still, you got 3 steps in the right direction. When you as an excuse, like, oh, one of the things was, man, Ushi's taking my time, whatever. I can't focus on this. And he's like, nah, you should never feel that way because that's not true. Because of the fact that you're not spending every fucking hour doing ooze juice. That's a lie. But you try to use it as an excuse and, that whatever. But anyways, look what happens. And that's what I want. I want things like this. When you're saying no more excuses, but I'm really going to focus on myself, really going to focus on my dream. And I know my brothers are still going to be there for me, just like I'm still going to be there for them. Just like last weekend, he got in the mix again and we plugged and play. Like he has all the information. So when he's called upon, hey, man, you better come. Because when we call, you better come. And he came and he handled business. And then obviously it was still there. People were asking him questions. He still had the information. He gave it to them. That's what we need you for. But as far as day to day, it's a different story. If we're not going to be able to put in that time and effort that is required, we're lying to ourselves. If we can't handle our own personal lives and our business personally, then how can we expect to handle something else? We're lying to ourselves. So the thing with, what we're talking about right now is Ray, and I want you guys to voice your guys' opinion. Certain things, he does the bare minimum, and the bare minimum is not fine. It's not fine because of the fact that, if we're saying if you don't want to grow, you got to go. Like if we're on that hype and that mentality, we're not saying it in like a bad way, but as far as a company and moving forward, there's certain things that are required that you have to really go beyond. You know what I mean? Like you really have to go beyond. And there's certain little things that he was already on a tight rope or tight leash already with me. And I just asked him for simple things as such, like the Amazon thing. It's already been 3 weeks to a month or whatever case may be. Couldn't even get simple information. That's big because what if we were to set it up and we got sales? We got 1 sale, 2 sales. We just went 3 weeks where we could have had a potential sale on Amazon, but with the lack of information, how hard is it? How hard is it really? Obviously, once again, the priorities are not there. And I would rather him focus on personal life because he got so much going on. He's about to have another kid. Got to take now he's the man of the house and, everything, the responsibilities up there. So that's a lot on his plate already. What do you guys think as far as that? Really telling him to take a step back and just focus on what he got going on. Because I just feel right now it's like a middleman, right? It's like we have the information and we're just passing it along to Ray, but there's not really a need to pass it on to him because we have everything right here. We want to make people feel, valuable. Like we want to delegate certain responsibilities, but if those certain responsibilities aren't, taken care of to the standard that we want, there's really no need. You know what I mean? And we're just wasting time. It's like we're wasting time with Texas. We're wasting time with expecting things to come in and we don't get them. And it's the hassle that is unnecessary to deal with. What do you guys feel about that? And what are just let me know how you guys feel. I mean, this is a team decision. I already feel how I feel. I think it would be more beneficial for him because that's one less thing off of his plate that he has to deal with, and he could really focus on building up what he needs to in order and taking care of that in order to say, oh man, now I can handle something else.
I just don't want Ray to take it personal. You know what I mean? Like he's getting booted out of the team. You know what I mean? I mean, I understand what he is going through, and I mean, to be honest, it might be a good idea, you know, to step back. I mean, just with everything he's got going on up there, I know it's fucking hard for him right now. Working, taking over the man of the house, Pop's sick, got the baby coming, you know what I mean, on the way. So, I mean, I just don't want him to take it personal, you know what I mean, and to look at any of us differently for making this type of decision, you know what I mean? I mean, through all in all, I still want us all to be brothers no matter what, you know what I mean? I just don't want him to take it personal. But it might be a good idea for him to step back, you know what I mean, just to get his mind right, just to get him, like you said, focused on himself and to focus on right now what's more important to him, you know what I mean, taking care of his house, taking care of, you know what I mean, Pops, you know what I mean, preparing for the baby to come out, you know what I mean? So, I mean, that's where I just don't want him to take it personal on whatever decision we make, man. That's my only thing.
Me personally, I think it's a lot there's a lot going on with all of us. But just the way I hear it is just this is the way I see it. If you feel that he's not giving you information that you need and is not coming to the table, well then maybe he does need to take a step back. But that's not saying anything about, you know, him not being a part of it. You'll always be a part of this, but when you take a step back and you know you bring all your focus back to the center and you understand what your position is and what you know you're capable of doing and what you're supposed to do, then you know you basically use that time just to bring all your thought, all your energy back into focus to, you know, getting his family situation in order and whatever else is up there, but just don't understand timing and understand that we need you. You know, everybody needs to play their position. And now this is two men that's you know stepping back from positions, and you know everybody goes through their personal issues, but at the end of the day, the no excuses rule and the how bad do you want it and what is your why, all of these things come into play. If you want to be the man of the house, but you want to take care of your family and you understand that the moves that you make for distribution is going to take care of your family. The move, like everybody wants things like right now. Like that's how relationships get, you know, broken or whatever. This and that. They want things right now, but they don't understand the behind the scenes, the footwork that it takes to get that right now. But I just think that, you know, even if he does take the step back, it just gives him that time to you know, recollect himself and you know,
We're not even
hopefully just let him know what time it is. Like, man, because we all go through this. We all, you know, go through a stage where it ain't cracking for us. But you know, when you step back and just think about it, then you just fall back into place and do what you know what you're supposed to do. I mean, this is, you know, sometimes people get overwhelmed by things that they have to do, and it's not like we're even doing too much. You know, we're not even doing the most that we should be doing, but the little bit, you know, that we should be doing, I mean, it goes a long way. But unless we understand, you know, what we really got going on right here, then everything will always be an excuse, or something will always be greater than what we're trying to accomplish. And, you know, we all got our own lives, and you know, but this dream, this focus is, hey, if your why has something to do, you know, with this business and the growth of this company, then you better understand what you're doing then. Like,
Well, what do you think about letting him take like a 2-month break or something? You know what I mean? Getting his mind right. And then when he's ready to step back into his position, you know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. It's like there's in the real world, there's no breaks. Like nobody says, "Oh man, you know what? You ain't handling business. You got to take a break and then come back in 2 months. You'll still be employed." It don't work like that.
yeah.
I mean, here goes the thing that we have to understand. Like because we're really trying to build something like real deal, successful businesses. Right here, I'm in the hot seat, like real deal, because I got to make the decisions on like, damn man, these my brothers. How do you think I feel? Like, man, I'm trying to help as much as possible. I'm trying to make this thing like this whole team feel. I mean, that's what it is. But look at what S has had to do. He ain't firing nobody else but his brothers and sisters. And why is that? Because it's like your brothers and sisters, because of the relationship. It's all, and this is not just our family, but other people that have families too. That's the first people they fire. Their brothers and sisters. It's because of the fact that it's too much familiarity, you know? And that's the thing. Like we have too much familiarity where we're like, oh man, it's cool. We're gonna be cool with it. It's all good. I'll do it tomorrow. We have that too much where it's like, man, we can't continue to have those same thoughts in our movement. Like Snoop Dogg said it. He said, man, I don't know if you guys caught it, but he had like this little video and he was just saying, man, it's hard because if you're trying to continue after level after level and your friends and your family, they don't want to go with you and you got to cut them off and now they feel in certain ways, well, you can't be worried or concerned about that because of where you're trying to get to. Like that's how determined we are to build this brand up. And we have to all have that same mentality. I'm not saying that Ray doesn't have it, but it's not as focused. And a lot of it has to deal with circumstances. Just because he, you know, a lot of times when you hear him talk, he's like, man, I feel like, you know, because I'm way out here. Well, that's not an excuse because S is in the Bay. The Bay is not Marina. The Bay is 2 hours away, but yet S continues to hold it down. You know, with distribution, with the connections that he's making, with marketing, you know, it doesn't make any excuses. He just says, man, I'm a one-man army, but still, I got to put up or shut up. That's the mentality we have to look at. Now, when we're talking about taking a step back, we're never excluding anybody from what we're doing here. And I told this to S. I said, look it, even though Killer is not in the day-to-day operations, he's still posting pictures. He's still letting people know. That would be the same thing for Ray. Hey, man, keep on posting pictures. Keep on sending out texts. Keep on letting people know. Just continue to spread the word because you still play a vital role in communicating, being a brand evangelist. Yeah, you may have not been able to handle the responsibilities of distribution, but you can still play a role in talking about the product consistently, you know? And that's what we have to look at. It's like, man, I'm not, if Ray tells me, hey, Oos, man, give me 90 days or whatever, you know, or whatever, give me 30 days, the next 30 days, 30, 60 days, whatever. I want a real shot to go out this full-fledged. And if after all the 90 day or whatever, it still ain't enough, then I'll be fine. I'm not going to turn him down. Like, hell yeah, let's do it. You know, because this is how the year started off. It started off very promising. And then what happened? Well, a couple months went by. Now we in 4 months already. We're already in 4 months. And then that month, that was in the past. You know, we can't live off of months' efforts because if we did that, damn, I tell you what, the lights wouldn't be on. We wouldn't be having this conversation right now. We'd have probably sold all this equipment off and been moved on to new things. But we're still here. And why is that? Because last month, we're trying to make this month better than that. We're trying to continue on this growth of the brand, building up this company. We're on that height. We're on that mission. And so that, you know, that's where, like for me in my position, it's always good for me to just throw it out there from my perspective on how I view things because of the fact that leadership role is not the easiest one. the one that has to make these crucial decisions, it's hella hard, because you're like, okay, dang, what if it hurts? What if it hurts the company? You make this decision and it hurts us, and then we can't recover from it. That's a scary thing. But me being in this position, I feel confident that the decisions that we have to make, they have to be made in order for us to grow. Because these are it's the challenging part, right? We have someone that we feel is doing whatever job, and we're comfortable with him doing that job. We can't be comfortable, we have to say, man, you know what, this job can be done better, and I know I could do this job better myself, and therefore, why waste time? Allow him to grow in his personal life so that he can step up to the plate and be more responsible with his duties for, and that's just how I see it. I mean, the door is always open, and we never close the door off. We will never do that. But at the same time, we just have to be smart about the moves that we're trying to make and how are we going to get there. And if the players in the positions that they're in, are they going to be a fit? Are they a valuable asset to us growing? Because if they're not, we'll never see growth. We won't. And that's where I'm coming from, So I don't know if you guys have anything more to add. No, that's good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll get on the phone with Ray and I'll have a little conversation with him, and we just keep on pushing. But this is that tough love. It's how far are you willing to go to achieve what is manifested in the mind? If we envision something that's bigger than ourselves, then we can't allow certain things to cripple us or prolong us from getting to our destination. And it's little things as far as people's effort. Like Drake, he has a song Energy, right? People trying to drain me of this energy. It's draining when like for us, like, man, if we're trying to get some information, if we're doing little acts like sending out texts, but then what is the use of sending out the text if there's nothing in return, if we don't have reports every week? Because that was the whole thing. Like, man, we're supposed to have reports every week. Have we had reports every week? No, we haven't. And we're not, and it's not to the point where like we're moving hella cases a week. We're only moving a few cases a week at the most, like for 60 cases, maybe 100. We'll just say that. We'll say 20 to 100 cases, if that, in a week. That's not a lot of product being moved. And if we can't be able to take care of those small things and manage those small things, what makes us think that when we're moving fucking hundreds of pallets, you know what I mean? What makes us think that we're going to be able to track logistics? We're not. So we have to be more real with ourselves in that light, and this is moving forward. I mean, this is what we have to do in order for us to get to where we're going. And that's what I feel. I firmly believe that if we were to do this, like if we were to just ask everybody, and we did this like last year, what was your highlight? Ray couldn't even answer that. This year, I bet you he still couldn't even answer it. And that's a failure on my part, because of the fact that I'm like, damn, how could I be a reflection of someone that that doesn't feel like they've accomplished anything? Because I know that I could look at Pizzo, I could look at Mick, I could look at S, I could look at Will, and I know they all would say, man, this is what I accomplished. I'm out there every fucking day busting my work, and I'm fucking sending out emails. I'm over here working on web designs. Nigga, I'm busting knocks over here, selling cases. I'm going here to make the distribution. I'm selling direct to consumer. We're doing events. I can look at each and every one of you guys and say you're part of that. Yeah, Ray is out of state, but at the same time, it's no excuse of why he can't do the little things of sending out reports as easy as it is for the information that we're providing to him, so that we can really see what's going on week to week and know for us as a sales team, how can we improve week to week? This is how much product we gave away. This is how much product we sold. This is how much was free to the deals. We can't get that. It's hard for us already. It's just even harder, for us to continue to grow our sales because that information is not provided. So we have to look at that all the way around. But I'll definitely speak with him when I get a chance. Last but not least, we have sales. Do you guys have any updates?
No, I don't have an update for today.
You got anything, Mick?
Nah, just did a few sample events.
All right, cool. So, let's go over this real quick, because I was thinking about this last night, but our sales goals. So, in the first quarter, obviously the first quarter is over, and we have to go over this. So, prospect A, 15-day checkup; prospect B, 30-day checkup. Have we been doing these checkups? Would you, in your guys' perspective, we've gotten better. I'll tell you this right now. This last, since we cut off premium, we've been doing a hell of a job as far as checking up. I'll give you guys that, like, real deal. But prior to that, I think we got caught in laziness. Like, oh, okay, they'll just handle it. But we've definitely improved on that for the prospect A's and prospect B's. But we got to narrow it down and be more specific, because we go to the accounts that we feel that could be huge for us. And we work with the accounts that want to work with us, but we haven't narrowed it down to prospect A's and B's. So we have, like, this upcoming quarter, what I want us to do is to really, really focus in on who our prospect A's are. Mick, you do a lot of the accounts that you've opened up as of late. But I want you to, because you work on this side more, and so you're out in the Monterey, Carmel, PG area, I want you to come up with your own list of who you think are the prospect A's. I would say your prospect A's that you like to go to is the Seaside Shell. You went to even the 7-Eleven. Where else is there? I would say Baldomero's. You've been there more than a few times since you opened up that account. And I'm not talking about samplings. I'm just talking about the accounts that you're going to check up on more frequently, from what I've seen from your responses in the text of the accounts that you serviced. So I want you to do, and I think we should really put this into implement this, like implement certain areas. Like if you're on this side, like for months, well, like say for April, right? The rest of this month, you stay on one side. You stay on Monterey, whatever. I don't know what you guys want to do, but it's just like we're just trying to play with things, right? And you say, man, I'm really going to take over. You're like the sales rep. You're like the rep for that area, right? The Monterey, Carmel, PG area. You're the rep with all the data, the samplings, all that. This is just a thought. We could go over and discuss this more with us because we need to do another sales meeting, or we need to get back into that. But this is just a thought, and we brought this thought up many of times, but we never actually implemented it. I think it's a perfect time going into the spring and summer that we just start trading off. Like, man, let's just stay in an area thick, like us personally, and then I can even say Buy Right. You always go there too as well. You and Pizzo, and then even that one dude, the Carmel little spot. But anyways, let's figure out who our prospect A's are, so we can do a 15-day checkup. And since this area is so small, it's pretty much we can actually. I think 15 days is like way too long, unless these accounts have a lot of product. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like reverse. The prospect B's would be the 30 days. I would say that the accounts with a lot of product would probably be that, like a 30-day checkup. And I'm talking about 10 plus cases, because I don't think you need to just be going every other week to these accounts that have 10 plus cases on them because it just is wasting gas. Now, if you're going to do a sampling, that's different. But I would say that just reverse the roles. Like the Prospect A's 15-day checkup or even less would be those smaller accounts with less product. And then the Prospect B's are our bigger accounts with more product. And we go in like that.
All right.
What is this? It says activate incentive programs. We've done that. We had to pull it back because of an incident. 3 pallets ordered through distribution. Do we have 3 pallets? No, we didn't, but we did our own. We did more than 3 pallets, I'll tell you that. We didn't hit our sales goal. If you guys were to look at it, we were 800. I'll get the correct number right here. But we fell short by a few $100 right here. Hold on. So that number is 11,860, right?
Was that for first quarter?
Yeah, for 2014. 11.
It says last first quarters was $14,692.60.
Oh no, that was for DTC too.
Oh,
this is just retailer. We're going off the retailer slide because that's where we're on right here. But it says 11,860, and then we did in these 3 quarters right here. In this first quarter, we did 11.34 and 40 cents. All right, $825.60 as far as through the retailer. Now we know why that is. I think that if we would have still been doing our own distribution, I know we would have crushed that number. Honestly. So we fell short of that, but we live and we learn, and we already know what it was based off of because we had a distributor in our own backyards. Quarterly goal of 523 cases sold through the retailer. So this was how many cases did we sell? So we topped that. We got 544. We did more cases, but less sales. So we accomplished that. Sampling events, we've been doing that. We've been on it a lot more. Monthly sales generated revenue, 5 to 10K. We haven't been able to accomplish that besides the month of March. So January and February are pretty low for us. March, we got back in the thick of it. April, I expect us to continue on with that. April, I expect us to continue in that march of 5 to 10K, 3 to 4 events a month. And this was, I don't know why this was on the retailers page, but this should have been on a different page. But anyways, we've been doing, if you guys look at our numbers for events, we've done way more events in the first quarter than we did the whole first quarter last year. And so we're on that path. I don't know if I think we've been doing 2 or more. Yeah, the first month, 1, 2, 3. We got 3 in January, 1, 2. We got 2 in February. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 in the month of March. So that was a pretty good one. That includes the Marina High games that we went and stood at. I counted those as events as well. And then we already have 1 for this month, or for the second quarter. We need to find more events. I'm on it with Will, trying to get this this farmers market thing going. Just waiting on responses from them so we can get that up. The other one was the direct-to-consumer sales, 7.5 cases per week. We want to sell 30 cases per month. And if we're looking at it, if we look at the events, obviously the month, we've blown that out the water. So we need to continue on that path. And then even the direct-to-consumer sales that we're doing ourselves, there's I I mean, I mean, I'm not going to go over the specifics. Like, we'll do that in our meeting, in our sales meeting. But I'll tell you that for the month of January, February, and March, with the events included, we've sold easily over 30 cases in a month. As far as direct, we need that. We need that continue from the second quarter, third, and on in the fourth as well. Increased DTC sales. We've been doing that. We haven't sold in front. I mean, we did, but then we haven't really pressed the issue. And then increase online sales. Well, we can't really increase online sales because we're still working out kinks, and then we're trying to go to different avenues. So those are some of the things that we're looking at, and we got to fix. These target accounts, I think these are the same ones from, yeah. We got to work on that, the target accounts, and then the achieve 100K in sales. So 49,000 needed. This right here, once again, we see the numbers. We only got 2 months here, and it's going to be hard to get 100K in sales by June 21st. It's going to be difficult, man. If we need 40, we needed, and this was early on when we needed 49K, we only put like a little bit of a dent in that, and we were expecting some big things with distribution. Obviously, it didn't work out the way we planned it to, but we have to figure out, like, okay, if we don't reach it by June 21st, then we have to put together a plan where we reach it within the first, couple weeks, or even if it's an extra month. We got to put in this work with direct-to-consumer sales, finding these events and retailers so that we can get to 200K. Right now, we're at 160, so we need 40K to reach 200K in sales. That's a lot of money. But we have to figure it out. And I think, we really need to spend some time figuring out this avenue of online sales, and really building up that channel right there and loading the box with that, because I know we could reach it a lot quicker if we have that open. But that is all for sales right there. I just wanted to show you guys that, or update you guys. But other than that, we know what we have to do. Sales is going to make you or break you. It doesn't matter. Like, man, we need sales. We need more sales. We have to have that mentality. We're not satisfied. And we just need to keep on that hype, continue on what we're doing. Obviously, we're doing something right when people that have sold their companies for 500 million, when they're saying, and then sold another company for 110 million, when people are talking highly of us and they believe in us, then we have to really say to ourselves, man, we're doing something right. Let's continue on this path, because one day we'll be in his shoes. You have to believe that. You really have to believe that. I believe it fully with all my heart. And I know that you guys, I feel that you guys believe it too, because you guys are out there and you're hustling, you're grinding, you're doing sampling events, you're building up these relationships, you're making these sales, you're distributing to our accounts. So I know you guys believe it, and we just want to do more. Like, we always want to do more, and that's what we got to keep on our mind. Damn, I'm humbled that this guy believed in me. If he believed in me, I didn't really need him, but damn, it's always good to hear from people that have been in my shoes. And so we'll take that, we'll take that and run with it. Other than that, man, I appreciate you guys' time. And if anybody has anything else to say, feel free. If not, let's just continue to find, I really want to find some more events. I mean, if anything comes to mind, let's try to be a part of it. Whatever it is, let's just try to get out there and get this money. We all good though?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Go ahead and end us out in prayer, and then we get on our separate ways.
Lord Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together to this meeting, share this information. It's vital information we need to know. Thank you, Father, for bringing us here together just to open up and share information with each other, to open each other's minds, to help push each other to want to grow and get better in life and be the best version that you sent us out here to be, Father. We thank you for every opportunity that you keep on presenting towards us as we keep on working hard at our passions and what we truly want to become in life. And we know that you're going to do your part, Father. We just thank you. We give you all the praise and all the glory for everything that is being manifested in life right now. And as we speak, we just give you all the praise, Father. We just thank you for, letting this vision ride out with our brothers and being able to work with each other with this opportunity. Not too many get this opportunity, but we are here today fighting for this dream to turn into reality, Father. We just thank you. We just praise you, Father, and ask that you put your hands over those that are out, our brothers that are in Hawaii, Washington, Will going down south. We just pray that you put your hands over them and guide them safe to their trips. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen and amen.
Amen.
Man.